Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from a special night, same place, just a special night, it's the Weekly Pint. This is not a show, so the fact that it's not happening on Monday is not something that we should apologize for. It is what it is. Life sometimes takes over, but we're here a day late, and we're going to hang out and we're going to do this thing that has become a happy hour, an excuse for us to all hang out together, have a drink, and talk about everything that's kind of going on in life, in beer, in booze, whatever comes up. That's the whole point of this. And it's been busy. There has been a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of stuff getting ready to happen. It's a busy time of year for a beer drinker, a beer blogger, podcaster, all of that stuff. So there's plenty to talk about. But the point of this is for us to have a conversation together. And there's a couple ways that you can do that. You can, of course, just hang out and jump on the chat, which wherever you're listening, there's hopefully a chat. I guess if you're listening on Twitter, there's not. But I don't really get a lot of people hanging out on Twitter. So if you're there, jump somewhere else if you want to take part in the chat that way. However, you can, of course, also call in. We have the Gnome Hotline, and it's right up here on the screen, 567-70-DRINK. Also, 567-703-7465, if that's easier for you, because you don't understand the whole letters and numbers thing. I don't know how that works for everybody. Does it still, like, if you call somebody on your phone, does it have... Yeah, I guess they're still on there. It just, you have to look. That's how you do it. There's letters that coordinate with numbers, and you can spell out stuff. It makes it more easy to remember things. I don't know. But the easiest way to take part is just to jump in on the chat, which you guys are hopefully familiar with. It'll pop up right there in just a second. As people start talking, it'll appear there. And then wherever you are, you can do it that way. But... a big part of that conversation, we want to know what it is that you're drinking, and I will tell you in a second what I'm drinking when I open it up here. Julia says that she says, Happy Ohio Pint Glass Day. She is stealing some of Josh's Toppling Goliath Soul Hunter Double IPA. That sounds wicked. While she eats a calzone post-podcasting. Marco says hello. He's got some truth, because that's Marco's podcast drink of choice. I grabbed a Sam Adams Perfect Pint glass, but I'm not going to drink Sam Adams out of it. Why not? It just sounded like a fun glass to drink a Kolsch out of. I grabbed a can of Schlafly's Kolsch. Huge thanks to Schlafly. They sent me a whole box of stuff. I'll have maybe some Instagram content or something coming soon about this box after I work my way through some of it to talk about it. Schlafly... I remember back in college, I had a buddy who went to school up in St. Louis. Shout out to James. And we took a trip up there, and I can remember walking into the, I don't know if we were in a grocery store, some kind of grocery store, probably a Kroger. I don't know. We were in a grocery store, and I go back to check out the craft beer selection, because despite how much... it's A-okay to drink Budweiser when you're in St. Louis. I wanted something else. And there was not a huge craft beer selection at the time, especially stuff that I had not seen before. There wasn't a lot of local stuff. But I saw this Schlafly, and I'm like, what is Schlafly? Who knows how I pronounced it at the time. And he said, that's this other little brewery around here. So I grabbed a mixed pack of theirs, and that was what I drank that weekend while we were up there, was a bunch of Schlafly beer. This beer might have been one of those beers. I have no memory other than we definitely drank the pumpkin beer. But I will definitely be talking more about this Schlafly beer in the coming weeks as I work my way through it. Pumpkin beer, what else have I had so far? I tried their Oktoberfest the other night. That was tasty. I tried an English pale ale. I'm trying to see, the cans are all sitting over here that I've already finished. That was good. Really good, actually. And then I think that's all I've drank out of it so far. But we'll be talking about it soon. So cheers to everybody. Prost. I do enjoy a Kolsch a lot. It's one of those beer styles that if I find myself in a tap room and there's a Kolsch along with other stuff, Kolsch is very rarely the thing that I go to, but I don't know why, because it's good. This one's 4.8%. It doesn't really tell me much anything about the beer. It tells me nothing, really, except that it's brewed in St. Louis by the St. Louis Brewery, LLC. Okay. All right. Where should we start tonight? I didn't do any labels tonight. We're gonna wait a couple weeks to refill our our folder of labels to go through. So we have just kind of some of the stuff that's been going on that we could talk about. But I'm curious to hear what everybody else wants to talk about first. Excuse me. We had Zane Lamprey this weekend was in town, which means new episode of Drinking with the Gnome is coming at you guys, along with the very first Drinking with the Gnome video. Hopefully we'll have more of that coming at you soon. And as I record more Drinking with the Gnome stuff, there will be videos that go along with it. Have some stuff kind of that we're playing with that I can't talk about yet, but it's going to be fun stuff that will be video content, audio content, maybe even live content that you guys can come hang out while it's happening. So stay tuned for that. Got some meetings about that early next month, so maybe I'll have some more details then. Sorry, I'm real burpy tonight. We had Sonder, Oktoberfest. I'm sure you guys hopefully listened to this week's Cincy Brewcast, which was recorded live at Sonder's Oktoberfest. Excuse me. That was a fun episode. It's become kind of a tradition now where we hang out at the festival, drink a couple beers, kind of talk about what Oktoberfest means to us, what the festival itself, that Oktoberfest, what it means and why it's important, and just sit around and just it's Sonder and friends, which means a lot, and that kind of factors into the conversation. So if you haven't listened to that, make sure it's on your playlist of podcasts. Is it what we call them, playlists? Make sure it's in the queue for you to listen to, because it is a fun one and a good one. That was the biggest parts of my weekend, the most kind of active parts. Tim wants to know if I poked any beers. I did not. So the poker, I forgot it at home. It's still packed away in our camping stuff from when we were camping last time. So I just forgot to bring it. I will have it coming up, which we'll talk about some of that, but I will have it with me soon. But it was supposed to be there. Joe says, sorry I'm late. Currently drinking tea, but had Great Lakes Oktoberfest earlier. That's a great Oktoberfest. So this weekend, Saturday was pretty busy. I hung out for a few hours at Sonder, recorded the episode, hung out with some friends, Marco, Julia, some other folks. We hung out, we had a couple beers, shot at the old proverbial shit, and then I took off on my quest across Ohio. I had to make a few stops. I had to stop at Warped Wing for a few minutes to pick up another gift basket for Big Cis. We'll talk about that in a second. I had to pick that up to add to my dining room table of brewery swag. If you guys could see the pile of stuff upstairs. Actually, stay tuned. Maybe I'll post something tomorrow so you guys can see some of the swag that we've got, if my kids will allow it. So I stopped to pick up that. Then had to go up to Middletown. I went up to Middletown to have a beer at Rolling Mill. It was their last weekend open. I guess technically they can probably still open this Friday, but I don't know that they're going to. So last beer at Rolling Mill, which is heartbreaking to me, but wanted to go show some last-minute support there. And the beer that I had was just, it was great. It was a really, really good beer. It was their light lager. Just good stuff. It's sad. So I did that and then ran up to Dayton to see night one of Zane Lamprey up at the Dayton Brewing Company, who I know the Dayton Brewing Company has gotten a little bit of crap with some of the local groups here, the local Facebook groups, about their beer, but their beer was fine. I thought it was okay. There was nothing that that I thought was embarrassing or bad. The beer was fine. And then came down, went home. Then the next day, hung out with the family most of the day until the evening, when I shot over to Fretboard, where we saw Zane Lamprey again, because I am that big of a Zane Lamprey fan that I have to see him 2 nights in a row, because it is always a very different type of show depending on the crowd, and Dayton is always a little bit crazy compared to Cincinnati. So I like to see both types of shows, and that's where we got to record this episode of Drinking with the Gnome, which will be up soon. I might put the audio up first and then the video up later. I'm still waiting on some other stuff to come for that long story. I might actually record kind of like an intro, outro thing to the episode too. I don't know yet. But it'll be ready soon. So we got that done. Got a new episode. That was the big excitement for the weekend. This week we had a Beer, Booze, and Bonks meeting. That was today. That was a good one. We are ready to go with all of that. I'll be talking a lot more about that probably this next weekend when I'm recording Cincy Brewcast from Big Cis, which, again, we'll talk about in a minute. But we finalized a few things. We are ready to go with the official announcement of the festival, which will be probably in the next week or so. Probably the next week. You'll start to see some stuff about that. I don't want to reveal this year's sponsor yet. It's kind of a fun one, a little bit different than it was last year. So I'm kind of excited to let you guys know about that. Maybe I'll reveal it this weekend. I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not. But we definitely nailed some of that stuff down. Have to start digging into some of the other little planning things and get that nailed. But Julia says the straight street hill climb is once again the day after Beer, Booze, Bonks, Boinks, Binks, Boobs, Bobcats, Birds, and Bingo Bangos. What if? Joe says Manscaped. No, actually, I have not talked to Manscaped. So technically, the Manscaped sponsorship is over right now. They had 1 month, and I actually needed to reach out to them and see if they want to continue that, because it was not the best month of Cincy Brewcast. If you guys have been paying attention, there was several weeks where there just wasn't a show. So I don't know how happy they're going to be with their sponsorship, but probably not happy enough to sponsor Beer, Booze, Bonks. What is the list here? Beer, Booze, Bonks, Boinks, Binks, Boobs, Bobcats, Birds, and Bingo Bangos. And maybe the help paid off. We'll see. We'll talk to them and we'll see what they thought. I think it's all kind of scammy, anyways. Well, I shouldn't say any of that because I don't know if they want to sponsor anymore. But one of these days we'll talk about Manscaped and how they run their business. But that is not for now. The Big Cis. Big Cis is definitely something we should talk about. This year has been chaotic trying to get it all planned. I thought last year when we planned it and it was already kind of tough to figure out and tough to plan. We were coming off of a COVID year. I don't know if this camera is shifting exposure for you guys too. I should look up here where I can actually see what you guys are seeing. But it every time I look up here, my exposure is getting really bright and then really dark, and it's going back and forth, and it's driving me crazy seeing it. The last year with coming off of COVID and all of that, Julia says yes. Sorry guys. I could fix it, but it would require me to get up, go over there, pull the camera out, and change the settings on the camera, and that's just way too involved. I don't think, actually I might be able to change it from the computer. Let's see. Let's do a little experiment here while we're in the middle of a show. Why not? We want I have to remember what the what Sony's software is called. It's like Imaging Edge. There it is. Let's turn that on. If this stops, hopefully, if the camera cuts out, the audio should still keep going. So we'll fix that. Oh, sign on. Nope, I don't want to do that. Remote. Let's turn the remote on. No, I cannot, because I guess it's not technically connected. No, because it's... Yep, that's not going to work. Me being the brilliant person that I am, so I have the camera just plugged straight into the wall, getting power through USB, so that I'm not relying on the computer to power the camera. However, that means I can't control the camera from the computer because it's not hooked up to the computer technically. I mean, it is, but through HDMI, which then converts to USB. Long story short, I can't fix it right now easily. So sorry. You guys will just have to deal with the shifting exposure, which is so frustrating. Big Cis. So, we last year thought it was going to be way easier to plan this year because my job was supposed to be less complicated. Turns out it's more complicated. Surprise, surprise. And it's been chaos. It's been really tough trying to make everything timing wise to get everything planned out. But we have done an incredible job, and I do say we because it is not all me. The event itself, Braxton has done a great job of putting it together and figured out kind of some of the fun stuff that we can do at the event. Brian says, I wonder if the haze craze wears off, will people revert to Sierra Nevada type regional IPAs or hyper local? My guess is hyper local. That's definitely, it's assuming that you're talking about places that have great hyper local IPAs, because there are still a lot of places that don't have incredible breweries. You know, we're local here, or we're lucky here locally that we have a lot of great breweries making some really great beer. That's not the case for everybody. I'm trying to let the camera see my eyes better, so maybe it'll know to quit shifting focus. It's just me right here. Just stay focused and stay exposed right here on this. That's my guess. But I don't know that the haze craze itself is going to just wear off like that. I don't think the two are connected, I guess is what I'm saying. The haze craze is still very hyper local. Not that places like Sierra Nevada even are not selling a ton of their hazy little thing and stuff like that, but both of those things are kind of separate from each other. The people are drinking a ton of hazy beers right now, and they're drinking a ton of hyper local beers right now. If that answers kind of my thoughts on the question. But going back to Big Cis, so Braxton has been incredible getting the event put together. I've been busting my butt trying to get to as many places as possible to pick up gift baskets, I got another one today. I have one that is supposedly coming in the mail. I have one that I need to stop at another brewery on Thursday to pick up. And then some that are hopefully being brought to the event by breweries. So there's going to be a really ton. That is what I said. There's going to be a ton of really great stuff there. Like I said, stay tuned. I'll do some kind of a little behind the scenes sneak peek tomorrow so you can see some of the good stuff. In the meantime, it would be very helpful for anybody who uses Facebook, and I assume some of you guys are on Facebook right now since you're watching this stream. Open up another window, go to Braxton's page, go to the event, and say that you're going if you're going, because that helps the algorithm share it out with more people. Even better, just click that share button and share it to your friends, because there's the more people we can get this in front of, the better. Julia says, if there are any West Side-ish to be picked up, let me know. Happy to help out however I can. There are not. I don't think I heard back from any of the breweries on that side of town about donating anything. This was... So the one thing about this year, so in some of the earlier years, before we had kids and things like that, or when we just had one kid that was, a baby, it was a lot easier to be a little more proactive with some of the gift baskets. And by that, I mean, I shot out emails to everybody and said, hey, here's what's happening. Here's what the event is. We need some donations. Please donate. And people kind of responded from that, and that was great. On top of that, the places that we didn't hear back from, we went to the breweries, and when we could run into people that were able to help, be it a manager or an owner or somebody like that, we said, hey, did you see my email? We need donations. And most of the time, people were very receptive to that, and they, oh, yeah, we can definitely do that. And it kind of just slips through the cracks. This year, most years now, I just can't. I can't always do that. Nor do I kind of want to put people on that spot anymore. I think that the people that want to donate will donate, and the people that don't, that's okay. So, with all that being said, no, there's nothing from that side of town that needs picked up. Not that the people on that side of the town wouldn't donate, again, if it was brought to their attention, but... I don't have time for that, nor do I have time to then go chase them down and make it happen. On kind of a completely different topic train, we are we are currently all caught up with this year's Oktoberfest quest. We are now into the third round, which is the final round before the finals. So after this round, we will have our final four. We are down to 7 finalists. If I'm right, just off the top of my head, is that right? We are down to we are down to 7 finalists, which leaves spot for one more. And you guys know what that means. It means a fan vote. So, starting tomorrow, I'm going to put up a poll on a bunch of different social media platforms. If you see the poll, vote. You can vote on every social media platform that you want to. That's fine. I don't care. And whatever brewery gets the most votes will get their beer put back into the competition in round 3 as one of those final 8 breweries, which is skipping the whole second round. It is a fast track right back into the mix of things. The only stipulation is the breweries that will be eligible, and Elijah, you're not going to like this. The only stipulation is the breweries that are eligible for the vote are only breweries that were eliminated in round 1. So since you made it to round 2, you're not going to be eligible in the vote. So sorry. That's kind of the fair way in my mind to do things. These are beers that maybe didn't get their fair shake in round one for lots of different reasons. But so it'll be interesting to see who gets thrown back into things, because there are a couple there that I think deserved to go further than what they did. It's going to be a good year. So as of right now, here's where we're at. For round 3, we have Third Eye. We'll be going up against Mad Tree. We have West Side's Fest Beer. We'll be going up against Brinktoberfest. Saunders Oktoberfest will be competing against Northern Rose Brewer. And then Christian Moorline's Woots, a surprise one for me to see in round 3. But it's a really good beer this year. We'll be going up against the loser bracket, whatever you want to call it, the fan vote. Fan vote sounds a lot better than the loser, right? Moorline is super, super surprising for me. Now, it's a good example of kind of how I judge this competition. While all of the beers have to be to style to some extent, they have to be an Oktoberfest beer. I am not eliminating beers that are Märtzens that are too festy, or fest beers that are too Märtzeny, or if a beer sits just square right in the middle, it doesn't matter. They're all kind of on the same kind of judgment in my mind of how they fit as an Oktoberfest, which is a wide-ranging style. The Moorline, and I'm not just calling them out, it's just a good topic of conversation, is a great fest beer. The problem is it is labeled as a Märzen. It's back there. There's no way that you can see it. It's too dark back there, but it's sitting back there. It says big on the can. It says Märzen. So if I was judging this competition based on the style of the beer and how it fits with the BJCP guidelines of what they're calling each style, it maybe wouldn't have gotten as far as it did, but it did. Julia says that Nomies should get an extra vote on the Patreon site. Okay, why not? We'll do that. We'll put it up on Patreon also. Patreon, which is getting ready to undergo a big old change. If you go on there now, you can see some of the stuff starting to change, some of the wording and stuff. And then also this weekend, on the 1st, you'll get a newsletter going out to the mailing list that'll kind of explain some of the changes. And then later in October, you'll get the very first issue of Behind the Gnome, which is a new newsletter that will be going out to Nomies. Let's see. Tim says, "Does the weather getting colder lend favor to any?" Not for me. I know that some people kind of shift what they are looking for in Oktoberfest based on the weather, and maybe I do a little bit, but no, it doesn't change how I judge the competition at all. Tim says, we're definitely in the midst of Oktoberfest weather. Yes, this weekend was definitely Oktoberfest. Today was definitely Oktoberfest weather. So going back to the Nomi stuff, Behind the Gnome is not only going to be a newsletter that goes out towards the middle of every month, it is also it's a podcast. And I'm not going to promise that this is a regular podcast. It's not going to be a weekly podcast by any stretch. It probably won't even always be a monthly podcast, but it will definitely be a podcast that comes out regularly, and it's all of the extra stuff. So if I sit down and I record a podcast, and maybe before the podcast we talk for 10 minutes, maybe after the podcast we talk for 10 minutes with microphones still hot and recording, maybe those things will make it into Behind the Gnome. Or maybe if it's one of those nights where I just had a hell of a day and want to sit down and talk about something, I may just come down here and fire the mic up and record some stuff. So it's just going to be kind of behind the scenes stuff. It's not real important content, we'll put it that way. It's just fun stuff. So that's the behind the gnome stuff that you'll get as a gnomie. And then in addition, there are going to be 2 different times throughout the year that boxes of swag will be going out to gnomies. The first will be early in the year, and this is at anniversary time. This will be the exclusive stuff for the higher tier, and this is stuff that you cannot get anywhere else. It's special things just for people that really kind of help all of this come together. Patreon is a big source of how I'm able to test drive new swag, to put in orders of, when you order a batch of glassware or something. I don't have one of my glasses sitting here, but you guys know that I have glassware. In order to order glassware, you have to put in an order of a lot of glassware, which is hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So to do that, Patreon allows all of that to kind of go in. So obviously the people that are supporting should get some of that glassware. So things like that will go out to the gnomies. Then Oktoberfest time, when that rolls around, there's going to be another box of swag that goes out to the 2 higher tiers. There may be a super tier still that I haven't really finalized, but we'll say $10 and up. If you are supporting $10 a month, every October you'll get a box of stuff. Some of it will be my stuff, hats that I do, or shirts or things like that, stickers, buttons, that kind of normal stuff. But then also, I'm going to play around with the idea of throwing in swag from local breweries. So you may get a gnome hat, you may get a T-shirt from Fibonacci, you may get I don't know the legality of it, but you may get a gift card from a brewery. I don't know. I'm not ruling anything out, and I'm not going to. It's whatever I feel like doing will go in there, and that'll get shipped out to all of those people, because I do appreciate a lot the people that support on Patreon. So if you want to take part in that, go to thegnarlygnome.com/support. You guys know how to do it, and you can click and support and be part of next year's fun new kind of growth in that realm. Man, am I missing anything that's coming up in the next couple weeks? Beer, Booze, and Bonks, we talked about that. We are almost ready to go with that. Tickets will be same price as they were last year. There will be a couple little changes. The Kick the Keg after party is not happening. However, well, I probably shouldn't say it out loud, but if you want to hang out after the festival, we may have a way for that to happen, but it's not an official thing. So we're definitely doing the mystery beer machines. We are changing things around, so there will be more beers from all of the breweries, and then there will definitely be more breweries. Not a lot more, just a couple more breweries, but more beers from them. Let me get caught up here on some of the comments. Tim says, speaking of Fibonacci, how did they do in the Sam Adams competition? Last I heard, when I talked to them, they haven't heard anything yet, so they don't know. I believe that they announced the winners, at least they publicly announced the winners at GABF. I don't know if the winners kind of hear about it beforehand so they can make sure that they're at GABF, or how that all works. And they don't know either, but they have not heard anything yet as the last time I talked to them. I would love to see them do well in that competition. Even if they don't, I still think it's going to be super beneficial to them. Love seeing them get as far as they have already in there. Horties says, heard anything about Rare Beer Fest? I have. It's coming. I should have a post up soon. Let me look at my schedule here. I have a whole list of things that I need to get up on the website. I keep getting so far behind. Yes, I should have something up. Well, on my list. I have at least, I'll have it up by what is the date of it here? Tickets are on sale. They went on sale 9/16. The actual festival is October 29th. I should get a post up within the next week or so, hopefully. There's Julia with the link for everybody. I assume that's what that link is for. It'd be funny if she just started putting up links to random things just to mess with people. But yeah, it's happening again. And if you have not been to Rare Beer Fest, it is fun. Not as fun as Beer, Booze, and Bonks, but fun. Beer, Booze, and Bonks is a little different. Like it's not designed as a rare beer fest. In fact, especially this year, I can promise that I shouldn't promise, but I will. Every beer that is going to be on tap is personally vetted by me. By me. Nobody else. Like I have to sign off on every beer that is on tap to make sure that everything is up to my standards. Not that there wasn't stuff last year that maybe I thought shouldn't be there. I'm not saying that, but this year I promise that everything will be top notch. They're billing it again as the best breweries bringing the best beer. You know that I would never say the best breweries, but or really the best beer. But I will say that these are all some of the best beers that you can get in this city, and that all of them are approved by me. So you can take that for what it is. If you trust my my opinion on beer, it'll be good stuff. If you think that I have horrible taste in beer, I don't know what to tell you. It may not be as fun for you. But we haven't even started talking about some of those beers with everybody. It's going to be fun. Beers or cocktails or seltzers, things like that. Which, yes, there will be seltzer, because you have to. And I will make sure that whatever seltzer is available is the best seltzer in the city. Tim says 75% lagers. Yes, it's all Oktoberfest and Pilsner, the entire festival, which I would go to. But Marco says, "You okay? I heard a cough. I was with you this weekend to care about you." I'm fine, buddy. Although I do have sick family, so I'm very, very terrified of getting sick right now. So don't even put it in my head. Darn, I was going to Beer, Booze, and Bonks for all IPAs. There will be IPAs, just not. It won't be all IPAs. Julia says none of that Astra crap. There will probably be Astra there. It remains to be seen what exactly will be there. If somebody says something and I think it shouldn't be there, then it's not going to be there. And if they put up a fight, then see you later. Because there's only, I don't have the final. I think we're going to have, I think it said 25 breweries, I think is our final number. And that's it. That's all we can fit. That is all the space that we have. Baja Blast was there last year. It was. I don't think it'll be Baja Blast this year. Not that I don't think that that's a nice seltzer, but I don't think it's the best seltzer in town. I also don't think it's the best seltzer that they make. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe we can get something special just for the festival. Wouldn't that be fun? I'll have to talk to somebody. Marco says, "Are the cans in the mystery machine approved by you?" No. The cans in the mystery machine are a mystery to everybody. There may be some cans that are approved by me filtered in there to kind of make it exciting, but there will definitely be mystery machine worthy beers cranking out of that thing all night. There will be golden cans again, so when you go cash in your mystery beer machine ticket, you have a chance. There's going to be at least one for every session of a golden can that comes out. If you get the golden can, not only you get to drink whatever is in there, which God knows what it'll be, and it'll just be painted. but which I don't think is legal. But you get a prize pack, and remains to be seen what's in the prize pack. Maybe a shakuli. Shakuli, what do they call them again? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what other kind of fun things we can put together for in there. But we'll be a little more ready for all of that too. This year is definitely a little less hectic and a little less stressful putting together than it was last year. Julia says a bottle of Campari and a High Life. Now we're talking. The Mystery Beer Machine, sponsored by Shift Beers. Sponsored by Shift Spaghetts. Spaghetti.net, which is, I still think, the most brilliant website ever. Anyways, so there's a ton of fun stuff coming up. Busy. Malort and the prize pack. I doubt it. But there's definitely fun stuff. Going back to, somebody was talking earlier about the beer poker. I have full intention on bringing the beer poker to the live finals of Oktoberfest Quest. Not during the competition. I anticipate that the actual competition part itself will go pretty quickly. We have the final four will be decided. I'm going to hopefully enlist the help of a couple judges. If anybody knows anybody that likes to drink beer, let me know. I need 2 judges. We will work through. We'll do the final 4 as 2 rounds basically. So 2 against 2. And then the final 2 will go head to head, and that will just be kind of my opinion. So the final 4 will be blind with 3 judges. Final 2 will be blind just with me, I think is how I'm going to do it. I don't think that's going to take that long though for us to decide. I mean, we can talk a lot, but we don't need to. We'll decide and we'll crown a winner, and then from there we'll just kind of sit around and have some fun with some Oktoberfest beers. And part of that, we will probably shove a poker and things. Maybe. I'm not promising this, but maybe I'll bring a boot, and we will do the ultimate cuvee of every Cincinnati packaged Oktoberfest live on the show. Maybe. That sounds like a very bad idea, because that sounds like a ton of beer, and I don't know how the folks at Fretboard would feel about that, but we'll see. We'll see how it works. We'll do the ultimate cuvee of every Oktoberfest beer, and then we'll shove a hot poker in it. just ruin everything. I think it'd be fun to do a cuvee of everything. That's part of the reason that I structure things the way that I do, because at the end of the competition, I still have all of these beers. Some of them have been sitting for 3 months, but for an Oktoberfest beer, that should still work, right? Julia says, please don't burn on Fretboard. I'll try not to. Super spreader event, if there ever was one. I'm not saying that I'm going to pass my boot around for everybody else to drink. Marco says we can spaghetti that shit. Oh Lord. We'll figure something out, guys. So that's if you have not been paying attention, I guess the finals are October 10th, and that is a Monday night. It'll be at Fretboard, which also means that this show will not be happening in the same way that Monday. However, it means that we'll probably go live from Fretboard, as long as I can wrap my head around all of the chaos that would bring. So I have to figure out how to. Well, it's not that bad. If we have 3 people on stage, 3 microphones, and then run that into, I can figure that out. We can manage a live 3-person show from Fretboard, as long as their internet is good enough, or if it's not, as long as Verizon's 5G is good enough. And we'll see. But that's coming up. Please put that on your calendar. Put this Saturday on your calendar, Big Cis at Braxton. And also, please go on to Braxton's Facebook page and find the event and say you're coming and share it with people. We need to get the word out about that. Tim says, what's the rough time? About fretboard or about Braxton? Fretboard, I'm assuming the rough time will be around 7:30, something like that. And then Big Cis is going to happen all day. Big Cis, we will, the beer is going to be tapped at 11. If it's not technically already, I don't know. It'll be tapped at 11 that morning. I'll be getting there fairly early to start getting some stuff set up and to make sure that everything is going to go smoothly. I don't know specifically what time I'll start podcasting that day. I don't know specifically what time the raffles and stuff will start, so we're just going to kind of play that by ear. But you said fretboard, that one is fairly easy. Probably 7 or 7:30 is when the show will kick off. And there is a trophy, which, well, there should be a trophy. The trophy is still under construction. There will be an award of some kind. It may be janky, depending on if I really get it finished. I'm still waiting on a couple things to come in the mail, though I think they're supposed to come tomorrow. So if they come tomorrow, I should be able to get it put together by this weekend. So that could be fun. And then Tim says, unfortunately, I can't make Big Cis because I'll be at Minster's Oktoberfest. It's all right. The beer will stick around for a while after the event. So you'll be able to get a pint of it. It is it's about as super traditional of a Pilsner as you can get. Saaz hops, Pilsner malt. It's to me a perfect Pilsner. Although I haven't tried it this year, so hopefully they didn't go in there and mess anything up after I wasn't watching. Oh man, Elijah says I'm also missing Big Cis due to hosting my own Oktoberfest. Justin said may or may not be kegging that tomorrow. I hope so. Take care of it. Don't mess my beer up. This is a special one. I'm so pumped about the event, and I hope that all of you guys are there because it means a lot to me for a lot of different reasons. But I always like getting to things where I can see and get together with as many of you guys in the same room as possible and have a beer with you. Not that this isn't also fun, and I enjoy our Monday nights getting to hang out, but it's much more fun in person. This was something that started because we weren't allowed to be together in person because of, pandemics. But getting together and actually being in the same room is always more fun. Justin says, no, it is. He'll be in good hands. Take care of it, Justin. All right. That about does it for this week's episode of the show that is not a show. I don't know what episode number this is because I didn't look before we started, but without you guys, it wouldn't exist. Without you guys continuing to have fun with this, it wouldn't keep existing. So thank you very much. And spread the word. Tell your friends. Go to thegnarlygnome.com/support. And go to YouTube, all of that stuff. I did start something. I don't know if you saw this today. I posted a new YouTube video, and I also posted it just straight to Facebook. I am kind of in this kind of middle finger mode right now of stuff that if I'm making content, I'm going to put it as many places as I can think to put it where it works. So I'm going to start posting more videos to Facebook because why not? Everybody's got a Facebook page, right? But if you like videos, still go to YouTube to subscribe because there is a lot of stuff there too. I also, I can tell you guys that I do have another video that is ready to go next week too. Like it's already ready. I could post it tomorrow if I wanted to, but it wouldn't make any sense, so I'm not going to. It's a Halloween video. It's a little chaotic, and it doesn't really. There's not really any story to it. It's just me getting terrified, basically. But it's fun. And I do drink beer in it, so I guess it's relevant. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you for hanging out on a strange Tuesday episode. As long as we get to hang out once a week. That's all that's important, right? We'll see you guys next week. Same place. You know how it works. Cheers, everybody. Everybody have a good National Drink Beer Day tomorrow. I'm going to start celebrating right now.